Good afternoon and happy Tuesday. Melanie here with Christian Craft Paper, and we have another fun project today. Y'all have been asking, when are we going to have more pop and swap frames? Are we going to have holiday pop and swap frames? And the answer is yes. And today is the day. They released to the members yesterday, and then they released to the public today. And we have two versions of the pop and swap frame. Now, if you have not seen one of our pop and swap frames in action, this is one that we did, I think, last week. Basically, it allows you to take the tile out. You can do the front and the back, and then you can pop them in. They just slide right back in. And so it allows you to use one frame multiple ways. This one has glitter on it, so I'm not going to flip it over. And then we have done ones where I show you how to do the bow. So this bow has a magnet on it. I've added a magnet to the pop and swap frame, and then I can just switch out my bows for the season. That's completely optional, but we have two. So this one is the, I have to remember the original ones and not get confused with today. So the original ones we released were the Hannah and the Mary of Bethany. This one here is the Mary of Bethany. And then the Hannah has roses and stuff that go around it. Let me grab one of those because I have one. Here's one of the Mary of Bethany that I did. So again, the tile, just all of them have the same size tile, and they just flip in. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. And then you can just pop the tile out. So one frame, you can buy these tiles separate, so you can just switch it out as many times as you want. So those were the original two that we released. Today, we released to everyone else two different ones. So we have, this one is the Anna, the Prophetess. And it has your bells on here. It has your music notes, your angels, a little bit of holly. We've got snowflakes in there. So this is how you get them. They're packaged like this. Each one does come with one tile in there, but you can add additional tiles if you'd like. We'd sell them in singles, doubles, 4-packs. The best deal is the 4-pack. But that is in there. And then the second one we have released is the Mary Mother of Jesus that you all were waiting for, that has the star, the starry night, and then it has the manger scene across the bottom. So I'm going to show you a few ways that I mocked them up, and then we're going to do another one tonight. Now, just to let you know, these are a little bit different sizes as far as the outside of the frame goes. The pop and swap inside will always be the same size so that they can fit any of your frames. But these ones are a little bit wider. One, because of the way that the design is, we didn't want it to be too skinny, and we want to be able to have more options with the background. And same with this one. So these pieces here are going to be, this one is the widest, a little bit wider so that we could get the whole manger scene in there. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can do them. And I do not have mine glued together so that we can flip them around and do all the things. So I see Pam on here. Hey, Sandy. Thank you for sharing, Pam. I've got Beth Ann tuning in. Miss Shirley. Hello, hello. Okay, so I'm going to show you again. Mine are in pieces. So when you get them, they're the 4 different pieces. You have these 3 pieces, and then you'll have the tile piece. Let me pop the tile out of this one. So then you'll have the tile. This one is already done. So I want to show you just a couple different options that I did. We'll start with this one because the Mary Mother of Jesus, because I'm not actually going to craft this one today, but I wanted to give you a couple different versions. So we'll go ahead and put our tile in there. Granted, it's not glued together, so you would not put it in that way. But I wanted to show you a few different ways of what it would look like. So this is stained with the antique wax in the Dixie Belle Best Dang Wax in brown. And then the top is painted just black. This is the black that I used is ink. The color is ink from Waverly. So that's one option. Then I also took them and did my rattle can gold, and I'll show you, this is the same gold that I used on the, it's easier if I do it this way, the same gold that I used on the Advent ornaments when we did that, and I'll show you the can here in a minute. But here is another look. So this is with the gold behind it. So you can see the gold comes through because I wanted to see how it would be with the sparkly stars. So this is the Rust-Oleum. It's a metallic, and don't know what the color is actually called. It's just, they have a couple different golds. This is the one that almost looks like a brassy gold. So you can kind of see the color there. Same ones, same color I used for the Advent kit. And then I'm also using this same color for those of you that are members when we do the November project. I'm going to be using the same color. I actually need to film that tutorial today. I have everything sitting over here ready. Beth Ann said she loves the gold. Hey, Miss Deborah. Hey, Elizabeth. And then here's another version. This is the antique wax with the gold behind it. And then the other side of this is antique wax. So that just gives you like a few different, you know, a few different looks. So again, this one is the Mary, Mother of Jesus. Also, fun fact, all these little like cutouts that fell out, obviously because some of these cuts are really fine, we have been collecting them all. We're going to be doing mystery boxes when it gets closer to Black Friday, and we're going to throw them in there. So I'm going to give you that little sneak peek. All right, we're going to need this tile again. So let me keep this, the baby Jesus tile. All right, let me show you the other one. This is the one I'm going to be doing today because this is the one that has the most flexibility with what we can do with the actual insert. So this is decoupage, and I decoupaged the Christmas hymnal decoupage tissue sheet. So that's the huge 20 by 30 decoupage sheet. I use different hymns from that to do it. Not one whole hymn will fit. So I don't know if you can see, but like this is a hymn, this is a hymn, this is a hymn, and this is a hymn. So I used 4 different hymns. So if you're reading exactly across, it's not the same. It's not the same hymn. But I had to take the different parts because none of them were quite big enough to fit this. When we release that paper the next time, I think I'm going to redesign it with bigger hymns so that they will fit easier on here so you don't have to do that. But this is one vision that I had for it. Let me pop this in here. One vision that I had for it was with the hymnal behind it. I love this one because of what we're able to do with it, because you have so many options. You could solid coat this solid, and I'll show you that too. I did the gold on the back of it, or you could do something like this with a hymn. Today, I'm going to actually do the Christmas rice paper. What is that? Seasons Tidings? Glad Tidings? I can't even remember the name of it right now. Okay, so that's that. That way, here is it. Same thing. Hymnal in the background, but the antique wax over the frame. So there's that option. Then I also just did a gold to see what it would look like. So we'll put the gold in here. So here's the antique wax with the gold, and then just the black with the gold. I gotta get this so that it's going correctly. The star goes at the top. There we go. So that's the black with the gold, and I really like that one. But my favorite for this was the hymnal. I'll leave the hymnal with the black. So today I'm going to do the rice paper, and I'm going to do the frame in a white. And I have found some tips for doing this one. I know last time we did a brush. I actually found better results using dipping my rag in paint and doing it that way. So I'm going to show you that way. But we're going to go ahead and do a brand new one today. So I have one put over here to the side, and we will craft it away. Shirley says she likes the gold. Monty says she loves the frames. Let me grab, I'm going to grab my iron because we're going to be doing the iron-on decoupage method. So let me get this turned on. I'm not going to be doing a bow today on it. We're going to need our Mod Podge. We're going to need our rice paper. So I will show you on the rice paper how it's going to fit. So it just, I'll show you over the top here. So it's just barely going to fit. Let me get this. I got to figure out where my camera is so you can see. It's just barely going to fit. Now you're going to see it actually doesn't go all the way to the edge. The rice paper doesn't. There's the teeniest bit of overlay, but the frame has this probably 1/4 inch around the outside. So once we put the frame on it, it's going to cover up where that doesn't fit. So as long as you get it centered on the topper or on the base frame, you're going to be fine. So what we're going to be working with today is we're just going to need to prep this, and we're going to need to do the frame. So this is the base. We're going to, once we get done, we'll put it all together. So we have these two pieces that we're going to be working with. Because it is rice paper, you can kind of see through it a little bit. It is, if we just put the rice paper on, the design isn't going to pop as well because of the wood behind it. So we are going to want to go ahead and prep this wood. So we'll do that first. And I'm just going to be using my Waverly in the plaster. This is the same color I'm going to use on the top, on the topper that goes on it. So we're just going to come through and we're going to break up our paintbrush because you know how they get all dry. So I'm just going to come and do a quick coat. This doesn't have to be super fancy. It doesn't need to be super thick. And then, like I mentioned, actually we can do it. Let's just do the frame and the topper the same way. Because the reason I found this works better is so that we don't, which I already did, we don't get paint on the outside of the frame. Now you can use the same process that I'm going to use. I just need to find like a corner that I haven't done anything with. And I'm just going to dip this right in my water. So we're just going to dip it in here, get it wet, and then get all the excess water out. Then you'll need something to put your paint on. I like to use the inserts that come in the transfer tools just because they're handy. So I'll just keep them here or that come with the transfers, because y'all know that I just use the precision transfer tool all the time. So I use these for my glue and my Mod Podge. So we're going to grab a little bit of it and then kind of dab it off because we just want kind of like a blob on there. Then if we go through, it's almost like a whitewash effect. We can just hit it really quickly. And again, this is the technique I used for the frame topper, and it was way easier than dealing with the paintbrush or even a foam brush because of all of the cutouts. And because we're doing it this way, it's just buildable. So you can just keep adding a little bit more. We don't need a ton on this because we're going to come over it with the paper. But we're just going to tone down that wood. And by doing this kind of whitewashing effect, it's going to really allow the design, once we Mod Podge it on, to pop. So again, just get your excess off and just come through. After I did this on the other frame, I was like, why haven't we been doing this the whole time? Because this is so much easier and so much faster. And you can use this with any of the wood cutouts. We have, oh, I forgot to change the banner. We have workshop week coming up, and I may try this technique for the ornaments for workshop week. So the email for workshop week went out. When did it go out? Was it yesterday? Sunday? I think we opened it Sunday. So for those of you that have done workshop week before, if for some reason you signed up again and did not get the free printable, my email expert is on vacation. I need to follow up with him. The printable is already posted in the group. So if you were in workshop week last time, just go in the group and it should be right there at the top. You can go ahead and download it now. You'll get the rest of the emails, but I think the email is just not triggering the initial welcome email because it already did that, so it won't resend it. So just go in there and get it. We are not allowing anyone else in the group until we publicly open it on Monday the 20th. So if you're new and you've signed up for workshop week and you're like, hey, I can't get in the group yet, nobody can. It's only just the people that were in it last time currently. And we're going to open it on the 20th. So all the new people come in at once. All right. So that's as easy as this is. We're going to put this aside and let it dry. And we're going to come in and do the same thing. So again, we want to make sure that, where's our star? Our star is the top. And you're just going to pick whichever side you want. Once we glue it down, you won't be able to flip it back and forth like I did. So that was just kind of to show you the different ways that you could do it. But you're just going to come in here and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take our paint and just rub over it. And again, I just found this to be so much easier and faster than doing it the other way. And I think I might come in here with the sander and antique it a little bit. And I also wanted to try and put some glitter on the snowflakes. So we'll see how all this works. But huge fan. I mean, I get these rags. You can get these at Costco. Walmart also carries them. I feel like Costco's the better price to get a whole like bag of them. We use these for everything around our house. There's one in the kitchen, there's 2 in the bathroom. Obviously I keep stealing them and then they look like this and then I just throw them away because I have little crispy edges everywhere. So we are, I don't know if you guys have seen the news. I had people reaching out the last time we got these crazy little storms, but we've had some flooding going on. I mean, we've had flooding here, but like not bad. Just like the washes around our house and stuff are filling up, which that's what they're meant to do. We had a little bit of traffic hiccups yesterday where the washes or the reservoirs, I guess they're called little reservoirs. They're built into the neighborhood so that when the rains fall down and the floods come up, the water goes into these basically like basins. Like our park is like a basin. So it would collect all the extra water, which then, that goes to the grass. And so it's purposely built throughout the neighborhood, these little basins. And a couple of them, I guess, by the main road overfilled. And then the main road that goes by our neighborhood, the main traffic road, which is the one that goes to the highway, like half of it was flooded and they were having to like pump out stuff. One of my poor employees, has like a sinkhole I think kind of under her foundation. So she's dealing with that. So it's just been a little bit crazy. I think people got anywhere from like 2 to 4 inches. It was coming down so heavy. I was shocked when there was a guy in our neighborhood who has one of those rain gauges. And he said that it was like only 2.5 inches. And I was like, I don't know if your rain gauge has a hole, cause what? I feel like it was way more than that, but I guess, 2.5 inches over everywhere is probably a lot. And then we have Port Globe, I say just down the road from us, but it's a little bit further. They just had massive flooding, took out a whole bunch of their main street, and then now they're getting hit again. It's just crazy. But we really do need the rain, so that part is good. Now you can also use with these, we've used paint pens on these if you want to add more detail. If you've got a good drawing or freehand, you can use paint pens. Just going to go and make sure as we're going around, I'm not getting the edge there. But this has been one of my funnest ones. We had to play with this design for a little bit to be able to get all the cuts in there and make sure everything worked and was thick enough or wasn't too thick or all of the things. If you could see the piles of like test ones that we have, you'd probably be a little bit shocked because there's all kinds of ones where we'll make like the first mock and then we'll test it and then we'll do another one and then he'll adjust some sizing and then we'll do another one before we end up with the actual one. Kind of been debating. I know y'all love our mystery boxes. We were talking about whether we should put any of those in the mystery boxes because they wouldn't be exactly the size. Maybe you can let me know like on this live if those of you that have gotten our mystery boxes before. I just got a little chunk of paint here, so I'm just going to go in, take a brush and like scoop it out. If you would care if they weren't like the official finished size, because if not, there's like a whole bunch of other stuff we could put in our mystery boxes of just stuff that we didn't end up running with as far as sizing. All right, I'm just gonna pop in. Melanie says she was using the spray paint on the front, but this technique looks better. Yeah, the spray paint is much easier because it's quicker, but this is pretty quick considering. Like if I was using a brush, we definitely would not have gotten it done that quickly. Oh, Karen suggests using the paint with baby wipes as well. That's a great idea because then you could just throw it away. I had, I don't know if I have baby wipes. I have butt wipes here. I had them. I think they might have gotten stolen at one point when my son was like, we're out of butt wipes and came in and stole them because he knows I have a stash in here. So I'll have to check. His bathroom's the closest, so I don't blame him. All right, I'm just going to do the one light coat because I am going to come back through it and I want to hit it with the sander a little bit, but that's it. So now we've got that all covered. If you want to save your paint, let me get some. You can just come in and like scrape it back in there and we'll let that dry. So easy. Oh, and then I stuck my finger in the paint. Of course. I'm just going to take this and wipe off my extra there. All right. Putting that aside. All right, we are going to let that dry before we sand it. We'll bring this one back. And the next thing that we need to do is we need to cover it with a coat of Mod Podge because we're going to be using the iron-on method. And I'm just cleaning my brush over here real quick. Try to dry it out. We had, my son's been playing with my paints and such, so my husband went to get everything ready for the girls when they came in yesterday, and he's like, oh, he didn't clean half of your paintbrushes. So my husband has them out there sitting in some chemicals. I mean, these aren't like great, like not, they're good quality, but they're not like super expensive brushes that, you know, I couldn't just go get more, but they're like my favorite ones. So there's something to say for that. All right, so we're just going to do one light coat of Mod Podge. You want to make sure you get it all the way to the edges of your frame because we don't want anything lifting, especially since right here we're going to be popping in and out. It'll be sandwiched in there underneath the topper, but we still just want to make sure that we get a good amount. Ooh, I just stuck my hand in it. Hey, Tanya said she just joined. Yes, we're getting there, girl. We're getting there. I do like the thicker base one. Again, because before the other ones we had, they were so thin. Not thin material, but like the cutout was so thin, you couldn't do anything behind it. And because these are thicker, this allows for napkins, printables, papers, the decoupage tissue, the decoupage, the rice paper like we're going to do today. All right, I'm just making sure I got all the way around it. And we're going to hit it with the heat gun, but in the meantime, I'll show you like the thickness difference. So this is the newest one. And you'll see, let me grab one of the older ones here. You'll see like this one, because it was so thin, even if we had cut these out, there wouldn't be a whole lot that you could see behind them because the base was small here. So we brought the base all the way out to here now so that when so you have where you can see the background now. So just a little design tweak. And you know, that's what we do is we make it and then we try to make it better the next go round. All right, we're just going to hit this with the heat gun real quick so we can do our, I'm hoping, I don't know if I'm trying to look in the light, if that corner is dry or if I missed it. Let me just get a little bit. You can sometimes tell if there's no like sheen. I just don't want to miss any of the corners. And I'm going to assume because maybe that one is light that I didn't do the corners very good. All right, let's hit it with the heat gun. I kind of have glitter everywhere from popping that in and out. Okay, Monty says she has a chamois that would work. Easy to clean after and doesn't have fibers that would rub off on the wood. Oh, that would be a good idea too. I love that, a chamois. I think my husband has those for his cars. Okay, so again, this is from, oh, it's Glad Tidings. This is from the Glad Tidings rice paper 4-pack. So this is one of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to center the sides, but I'm just going to line up the bottom or even just come in a little bit. It actually doesn't matter because we're not going to see this. We're going to glue the topper right on top. But the main thing I want to do is just make sure that I have it straight up and down so that I don't have anything showing on the sides, which I think is like right there. So I'm going to lay it on there. I'm going to get my parchment paper. Again, this is for the decoupage method, or the iron-on decoupage method. So we're just going to put the parchment paper right over. Make sure, because you can see through the parchment paper, so just make sure that you're still lined up good. I try to usually hold it with one hand and then iron with the other. And then we're just going to come in and we're going to press the edges. Now, don't try and put your iron through the middle because there's nothing there. We're just really trying to get the edges here. And it doesn't really take that much. I kind of overdo it on these tutorials just because I want to make sure that it works. Okay, so it's on there now, so you can see. So from here, we're going to get our sander. I was super excited that this paper fit. I just actually looked this morning and was like, I had this piece in mind to use for it. And you can always like lay it underneath there and then like, where's the top? And then put it over so you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like if you want to move the print down. You're obviously not going to see any of this. We're going to take all that out. But the first thing I'm going to do is you're going to go ahead and just sand off the edges. And the rice paper is just a tiny bit thicker, so you'll have to use a little bit more force than you would a napkin, but it's just going to break right off. So we'll do this part first. And if you want to cut it down prior to putting it on there, you can do that as well. After I get the edges, I'm just going to go along this edge so that, I don't know if you can see, so that we don't have any of extra up there. And you can tell by doing the wipe on method, we don't have, there's a little bit of overage here. And if that happens, we just sand it off. But we don't have like the whole paint overage that we usually have. So now you have like basically a drum right now. So there's a couple of ways that you can do it. You can put your scissors in here and cut a hole. I'm actually going to just kind of come in here from the corners. And I'm not going to use this piece, but if you were, you could cut the outside. I'm just going to try and come in from the corners. Again, you guys are probably like, ah, she's wasting so much paper. Yes, this is, if you're saving the paper, don't do it this way, but I'm kind of just worried about time and getting everything. But basically, I'm kind of trying to do an X. And what that is going to do is it allows it to fold. So whatever you do, either cut around here or do that, but it'll allow it to fold so that I can get the sander in here and then come through and sand it off. So I'm going to just work one and then the other. And that will kind of help get the crisper corners by doing it that way. I know it wastes paper. You could also cut it. You guys all know I'm not the greatest with that guillotine, my portable guillotine cutter. If I have time and I'm in my personal crafting, I could use my bigger guillotine. I'm better at that one. But that would require like measuring out and all the things. So make sure you're pulling, sanding from the back, because we don't want to be lifting up the design and pulling it off. So I'm only dragging the one direction. And then we'll come here and do the last one. And from here, I think we can go ahead and put it on our base. All right, so just make sure that your insides are all clean because you do have to pop, that tile has to be able to pop in and out. All right, give it a good little blow. All right, so now we have our frame. This one does have wording on it, so I do want to make sure that I have the Bible verse behind it is actually readable. Like, take note of if it has wording, which is your top and which is your bottom. So the first thing that we can do is we can go ahead and put this piece together now. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to use your E6000. I kind of need to squish this up. And then I like to use a popsicle stick with this. If you haven't put our wood frames or anything together before, we're using this glue because one, it's going to allow us to move it a little bit. It doesn't immediately like stick. The other thing is this is like permanent, and it's also going to dry like we're going to be able to push it down and dry flat, where the hot glue is going to lift that up a little bit. You're not going to have the nice flat seam that we're looking for on the side. So that's why I do this. Tanya, is this something we need to buy, or is it a monthly kit? Tanya, this is, it's not the monthly kit. These are limited releases for the holidays. So this is our pop and swap frame collection. So it's separate. So I don't want you to think you're getting it. And then do you use the clear acrylic spray on the napkins? Yes. So if you were going to seal it, you would want to do all of the decoupage and your painting, and then I would seal them all together. So I would do this one, especially for decoupage, seal it. Do whatever you're going to do to this one and then seal it, and then assemble once it's all sealed, then you can assemble everything together. You don't have to seal 100%, but it is going to help you with durability. It's going to help you protect if something, if you're using it in the kitchen or something and something splashes on it, you'll be able to wipe it back off type deal. Fingerprints, those kind of things. Also resellers, I always suggest if you're reselling to seal. But if you're just using for personal use and you don't have sealer, you can not seal. But yeah, do that before you assemble everything together. Thank you for reminding me of that. All right, so with this glue, what I like to do is just use the popsicle stick and just get blobs out. And we're kind of want to focus on kind of the four corners here first, and then I will do some on the middle. Squeeze it out. Mine's getting, this was easier when the tub was, or when the tube was full, because it's not full. I feel like these tubes, like when you don't want very much, a whole bunch comes out. And then like right now where I need like a chunk, it doesn't want to come out. The perils of crafting, right? It's either feast or famine. All right, so just smear it on there. And then I'm going to do a little bit on the outsides of this. Now, once we get it all together, I have found it works best if you can put something heavier on it to really press it down. Like I'll just put my stacks of books or your, Bible or whatever you have that's a little bit heavier, just to help it dry like really flat. All right, we're going to put the cap back on because we don't want this to dry out while we're doing other things, but we are going to leave it up here because we'll use it again. All right, so we'll just flip it over. This is all square, so it doesn't matter which direction that you do it. And then again, I'm going to line it up, but then I'm going to pop it up like this because now I can get it exactly where I want it. And I'm just going to give it like a good squish. Because we kind of want that suction. And then again, before you lay it down and leave it alone, make sure that it's square because we're going to want everything square. Now I am seeing right here, this is lifting a little bit, which means I didn't get enough Mod Podge on here, which is fine. This may happen to you, so we don't panic. What we're going to do is take a little bit of our Mod Podge up here, get like a smaller, let me see if I have an even smaller one. Get like a small, actually I don't like that one. This one has a little bit where I can make it flat. I'm going to get the Mod Podge on there, and I'm going to take in here and I'm going to peel it back a little bit, and then I'm just going to shimmy the Mod Podge underneath here. So it looks like this whole edge I didn't get very good. So I'm not tearing it, but I'm just kind of shimmying. Look at how far under it goes. And then I'm going to come over, push it back down, and then I can hit it again with the iron. So I don't panic when any of this stuff happens because it could happen to you. So I kind of like it when it happens on the live. So if you're like, oh no, everyone did. No, we're just going to go back and fix it. And now we're good as new. And you can also, usually I go around and like kind of lift up and make sure that I got everything good. I actually feel this side too. I just felt a little bit, yeah, a little bit of lifting there. So this is a good reminder before you put it all together, do the little lift test, make sure that you got all the edges well, especially this part, because this is where the frame is going to be popping in and out. So we don't want that lifting on us. So again, I'm just taking the smallest amount, peel it back enough that you can get in there, come back, rub it down. My iron's off, but I think it's still hot. Lonnie says she used her husband's small hand clamps from Harbor Freight to clamp the boards together. That is a great idea, and I'm going to need to go to Harbor Freight and get some of those. Well, my husband probably has some too, but those would be great too. They're like pretty strong clamps you can put on there. Almost like chip clips, but they're like a stronger like grip. So that would be another great one to do. Okay, so one more time. Again, this isn't going to cure. It's going to take a while to cure, so we can still move it around, and then we're still going to be able to move it around at the end too. So before I get too much further, I just want to make sure that my frame is popping in and out. It should be the frame that you get with it is the one that was cut with it. So it's not like another one didn't go in there. It might be a little tight at first. So just make sure again that we've got all the paint and everything out of here. Maybe test that before you glue it all together. So I could have sanded a little bit more, but it does pop right in there. So we're good. All right. So this part we're going to put aside. We're going to flip back to our topper. So kind of what I was thinking is I was going to come through here and just go through some of the edges and just kind of rough it up a little bit. And then I'm going to come in with some of the antique to pull out some of this color. So you can see I'm just kind of taking the paint back off of the edges. So I'm going to go around where you would naturally have some wear and tear. I'm going to be a little bit more crazy, I guess, on the corners because that's where you would naturally have that wear. And then I'm going to come in and do the same thing on the inside corner. For the insides. So just kind of taking some of that paint back off, exposing a little bit of the wood. And then you can come in here on some of the designs as well. So just trying to get a little bit of the edges. You could do a crackle on this as well. I think that would be fun. Now we don't want to get too crazy and snap any of this stuff off. So just be a little bit mindful when you're coming in here with your sander, because you could snap one of these pieces if you get a little bit too crazy. If you have a little bit of a heavy hand, just take it easy. You could also use a nail file. I know some of our kits come with the nail files, so that's another option. All right. I am going to just bring in my rag, get some of the dust out of here. All right, then I'm going to take my antique wax in the Best Dang Wax in brown is what I use pretty much on everything. I'm actually not going to add any more to the brush because I was already using it a little bit ago and I don't want a ton on here. I just kind of want to come in and hit the edges. So you can see I'm just barely dragging it across the edge. So I'll do that first. It's like hitting my ring and making a weird clicking sound, which usually when that stuff happens, I'll get some comment on YouTube from some random person about how they don't like the sound. Sorry in advance if that's you watching right now. I kind of like it. All right, so we're just going to catch the edge. Before I do the other edge, I'm going to go and bring in my rag again. Just make sure you're getting a spot that you don't have anything on it because we don't want to drag any of the white paint or anything else off. And I'm just going to come in here and soften it a little bit. Watch for slivers if you've been a little bit heavy-handed on your sanding. All right, so we did the outside. We're going to come in and do the same thing to the inside. Again, I'm just barely dragging it along the outside. I'm not trying to change the color. So just barely catching the edge. And again, there's all different ways that you can do this. We've taped these where we've done this one color and the outside another color. You could do that with painter's tape. Okay, and then this is where I'm like a little bit nervous because I want to hit the edge of these, but I don't want to change the color. So I'm just going to kind of go in the spots that are sticking out and just, again, just kind of hitting here and there. Now this is our antique applicator tool that I'm using, but you'll notice you can't really get everywhere. So again, just a little bit here, a little bit there. That's it. Come back. Make sure we don't have anything else. I don't want any chunks that are going to end up dragging somewhere later on. And then we're going to come through and we're going to hit it with our glitter. So for that, I'm going to get myself a little sheet to put it on. And I think for the glitter today, we will use, you could use Mod Podge. I think I'm going to use the, what is that? Well, we used it last time. Let me grab it down here. Let me get my handy dandy bucket. Varnish. I had to think of the name of it. So I'm going to use the varnish. Takes 8. And I'm going to use a high gloss one. Put that down there. That is listed in my Amazon favorite thing link. So if you're like, ooh, what it is? So you can use varnish for decoupage as well. I've used it most with the decoupage tissue. But it's just a little bit thinner. So I'm going to kind of bubble it on here. I guess almost like you would do like a resin maybe, which I have not played with resin, but it's kind of what I imagine maybe resin would be. So I'm going to be careful when it comes to the edge of the frame because I don't want the glitter to be on the outside. I'm going to try and keep the glitter on the actual snow. And you could do different colors here. I do have a gray wax. I could have used the gray wax on it, but you know me and the brown. Which is funny because I used to make fun of my husband when we first met. Like his whole house was painted all these different shades of brown. Hold on, let me. Oh, it came back. I was doing this funky thing again. Every time we see like a show about houses or anything and anything's brown, I'm like, oh, look, it's your favorite color. So funny. Like we've been together all these years and I still give him a hard time about brown. All right, we're going to do these one at a time. So I've got my varnish on there. I'm just going to take my giant glitter. This is glitter that Megan gave to the cause. She just donated. She's like, I'm going to get rid of this glitter. Do you want it? And I was like, yes, please. And we're just going to, I just pinch and drop it on there. So you can be pretty generous because I want to be able to see it. Oh, I don't know why I'm putting the lid on it. And so I'm going to do these one at a time. There's 2 snowflakes. So we did the first one. I'm going to go ahead and just get the extra off. And I don't know in the light if you can see that. Maybe I do it this way. Oh, hold on. My camera's showing here. Hold on. Let me. It did this last time and I don't know why. So we'll just keep using this camera because I don't know why it's being funky, but let me know if you can see the glitter on it. I'm trying to show it in the light there. Also let me know if you can still hear me, because I took this camera off of mute, but it's clear over there, so it might be being wonky. And then hold on, and I'll see if I can fix this. I tell you, I am going to, oh, actually, let me do this. All right, hold on. I think I can fix it. I'm going to get rid of StreamYard. I tell you, I have so many issues. Let me see if it comes back. Let me mute that one. I added myself to the stage and then I took it off. Okay. Sorry for that. Same camera issues. So we've got the one done. We're going to flip it around here. We'll do the other little star here. And as I'm thinking about this, I probably should have did this before we did the decoupage so it had time to sit, but that's okay. So again, we're just kind of blobbing this. As a side project, I have been working on this paint by number lighthouse that I got. God just gave me this vision of like I was praying about like my purpose and just the direction of everything. I spend time with him a couple times a day, and I like to in the morning to start my day, and then in the evening before I go to bed, I will again. And just going through, I mean, I was sharing it with the members, this whole journey right now. Anyway, he gave me this picture of my purpose of me just being a lighthouse, like a lighthouse in a storm, in the darkness. And so I was looking online for pictures, because whenever I'm focusing on something like that, or God gives me something like that, I like to change my phone screen. So I'll show you. It'll be like kind of wonky, but you can see like on my phone screen, like this lighthouse picture. So I was looking for a picture to change my phone screens, because that's how it reminds me, you know, whenever I'm trying to focus on it, something, or I have a goal, or I'm working on something, I'll change my phone screen, because I feel like it's kind of that, like a way of renewing the mind without, from a subconscious level, because you're seeing it so many times a day. I feel like it just reprograms you somehow. I've done it for different goals and all kinds of things. Anyway, so I was looking for a picture for that, and I found this paint by numbers, which I've never done, like a large paint by numbers, like a big one. It's bigger than the size of this, my crafting mat. And so I bought it, and it took like 2 or 3 weeks to get in. I ended up getting it right after my birthday, and I've been working on it, and I only have 4 colors left. So when it gets done, I'll have to show you a picture, but it has been the best exercise, because I am not a patient crafter by any means whatsoever. And some of those, like, it has to be computer designed, because some of the spots are like the tiniest little spot, and they give you 3 different size cruddy brushes. And I don't know, it's just been every night I just go in and I work on my painting for a little bit, and I listen to a podcast, or I listen to worship music while everyone's watching TV. Like, I'm in the same room, but I'm just over there working on my little paint by number. And so it had 20, I think it has 24 colors. And because my a little bit OCD, I did them in order. And so I'm on, I got to start on 22 tonight. And I was thinking last night, I was like a little bit sad that it's coming to an end. I might have to buy another one. So do I have my paint by number ladies in the house? Are there specific ones that companies or something? Because this was just random on Amazon that you recommend? Because I'm feeling now I've gotten in such a habit of, you know, winding down and, you know, almost worshiping through just this paint by number. And it's caused me to just slow down and focus and take my time. But I'm really loving it. And I'm a little sad that it's coming to an end. Karen says she likes to change your computer screen. That's so smart. Tanya wants to know what I used to put down the glitter on. I'll show you the bottle again, because I put it in this jar to be able to dip into it. But it is, I've got 3 different versions. These are linked in my favorite things, but it's this Deco Art varnish. So it's like a super thin Mod Podge. So you can use different ones for the base and the top coat. So like the matte would be good for a base. I don't know if you can iron on decoupage with this, but you can definitely wet decoupage. So if anyone knows, it's not me. I don't know. So I've used the matte to wet decoupage with, and then I have a gloss and a high gloss, and these are what I will use for the finish to put over the top to seal it. You can also varnish over Mod Podge. So if you do the Mod Podge and you want to seal it with something, you can use a varnish. Now remember, if we're sealing, even if you're sealing with Mod Podge or a varnish, when you first put it on, like put it on light, and don't overwork it. But when you first put it on, you may see your design bubble a little bit. Walk away. Do not touch it. Don't try to poke the bubbles. Walk away. I want you to walk away for like, set your clock for like an hour, 2 hours. Come back. The bubbles will be gone. But it is so hard for me. I did a stool. Like, it's probably been like a year and a half ago. And like it immediately bubbled up and I was like, ah, and like, don't touch it. Because as it dries, that paper's going to shrink back down. The varnish is going to pull in and it won't be any bubbles. If you do end up having bubbles or wrinkles, then you can go through and you can iron over it. So I have ironed over it, but like it was more, I don't even think I needed to. I was just like, again, me, OCD. So this is what I use. I got it on Amazon. I think the one I have link is all three. And then I just put them in an old jam jar. Because I can't stick my brush in here and I like to have the wider mouth. So this is Arizona Queen Bee Honey, Orange Blossom, Recycled. And then I just write on the top what it is. So this one's my high gloss. I don't know if you can see it. So, and that's how I like to store them. And then you can just refill them that way. Alrighty. And I've had like these forever. Like this one, barely anything used. Like, cause you're using like such a teeny bit. Like, so I've had them for like a year. All right, we'll put those over there. Okay, I think we are ready to start assembling here. Again, make sure we're going to have our star at the top. We want to make sure our words are facing the right way because this one does have words. And so the first thing we're going to do is just kind of lay it over there to see like we fit good. Super cute. I know the glitter's like hard to see. When I take the picture, I'll try and make sure that you can see the glitter. All right, now we're going to glue it down. So the little bit of the situation that we have, ideally, you want to make sure your glitter's like completely dry. I think I'm going to let it sit and then put it together because I feel like if I push down, it's going to, the glitter's not saved. So I'm going to walk you through what I would do. So what I would do with the glue on this one is I'm going to put the glue on any of the larger pieces. So the angels and the bells are all going to have, not the glitter, the glue on them. So put your big blobs on there. Then I'm going to take the smaller blobs and I want to hit these corners, each of the corners. And then I'm going to hit the inside and the outside of the straight parts. Okay. Now, if you have like an E 7000 or an 8000, this is a thinner. This might be easier for this type of frame because it comes with the actual jewelry pin top. This is for jewelry. So you get like the little, I don't know if you can see it, like the little tiny squirter, but also you have to squeeze really hard to get it out because this is meant for smaller projects. Oh my gosh. And then my bad eyes. Barely get the top back in. But you can also use a combination. You can use your big blobs here and come in with your smaller dots in there, which is probably what I'll do. But I don't want to, I'm going to let this glitter dry. And then we'll just put in, like, where's my finish frame? So this is the one we did with the printable, I think last week or the week before. So it has the glitter on it as well. So you can see, I don't know if you try to catch the glitter on the light. It might be easier to do it this way. Nothing is like glued together, so I've got to like hold it. So I don't know if you can see like the glitter in the picture and then the glitter on the frame. And then you can pop these out. Like you just pop this design out. Again, it's not glued together, so it's not going to pop out all nice, but we had our other, where's our Jesus? Where's our baby Jesus? I'm holding with one hand and trying to get the other one here with the other hand. Oh, Tanya says that's perfect. So cute. So then I can flip baby Jesus out of here. Now also, I don't know if you know, but you can put photos on here. You can decoupage photos onto the actual frame. I would not use the iron-on method. I would use the wet method. Also, you could take your photos and print them out. You know how you can print them on a printable? You can print them on the 32-pound bright white, which is more of a glossier. Or you can even print your photos on tissue paper, decoupage them on here, and then use them for the different frames. I've been meaning to do that, and I haven't. I haven't pulled any photos up to do that. But it doesn't always have to be your verses and your napkins, your tissue paper, your decoupage tissue. Like if you're giving it as a gift, you could do like one of the Bible designs on the front and then on the back of the tile, as long as you don't do any glitter or anything. This one has a little bit of glitter. It will still fit in here. It's just going to be, it's going to be a little bit lifted because we did the varnished glitter on this actual print as well. But you could do a photo on the back and then a Bible print on the front, and then they can just flip it around back and forth. As far as hanging them, there's a couple different ways that you can do. So we sell a stand. We have our stands that you can put them on, but you could also do a rope. You could do a rope, like hanging rope, just staple it to the back. You can put some beads on here. I have not done it with this frame, but I've done it with our other shadow box frame. And then also you can just get the little hooks that we use for like this month's kit that you can glue on the back and hang it. In a pinch, I have also used the top of a pop, like a regular soda pop can, rip that little tab off. You can glue the tab on the back. I would use your E6000, and you can use a combo of E6000 and hot glue, but make sure the E6000 is on there because with everything in it, it's just going to have a little bit of weight. But if you want to hang it on the wall, that's how I would do it. So again, this one is the Hannah the Prophetess. And the second one, this is available today. We did make an initial limited amount. We only had so many of each. However, I did set it for you all to back order. My husband is actually, oh my gosh, look at that. Where did that even come from? Oh my God. I'm going to E6000 myself to my actual glue. What in the world? All right, let me get that off my thumb. At least it's not super glue. Who else had a moment when you were a child where you like super glued your fingers together? Because I did, and I'm still traumatized by it. It was like these two fingers. Some guy my dad was dating, we were in his backyard at a picnic table, and I don't know why I was touching it or why I did it. I picked it up. I glued these two fingers together. I was terrified. He thought it was hilarious. Still hate crazy glue to this day. I don't even think we have any because you all seen what a mess I am. I would be gluing everything to everybody. So at least that's not permanent. But side story. So that is, again, this is the Anna the Prophetess. And then the second one we have is the Mary, Mother of Jesus, which is the nativity scene. So many different options. You could do a decoupage paper behind this one as well. There is enough to see through. You're just not going to see a whole bunch of it because the cutouts are so small because we wanted that Starry Night type look. So again, this is the tile in here. Obviously, this is Thanksgiving. Again, these are not glued together so that I could show you. So I could show you the different designs. Again, that's rattle can. This is antique. So this would be, I mean, you could do antique on antique. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But if you wanted like antique, it's just going to show depth or whatever. But this is the one that I did the black on it. So you have black and the antique look, or also the black and the gold, which I feel like is my favorite. And then the original one that I did, this again is the hymnals. So I used the Vintage Christmas Hymns decoupage sheet, the big sheet that has multiple hymns on it. The frame will not fit any of the hymns alone. So I had to cut out different sections of different hymns and line up. What I was looking for is to line up these bars. You could also print out hems, and the Printable Club next month has a hem as well that may work for this. So those of you that are members, if you want to use a hem, we're looking at resizing all that. So this is it. Oh, this is not the right frame. This is the other frame. No, this is the right one. Sorry. I don't know what I'm grabbing. Okay, let's put the star to the right. Remember, the star goes to the top. So star at the top. This is the hymnal behind it. So that's with the black. This is the hymnal with the antique. Again, just different looks. You could do this a whole nother solid color too. You could do a red, you could do a green, you could do a plaid. Here is the gold with the antique. And then, oh, sorry. Can't remember what I showed you and what I didn't show you yet. And then the black with the gold. Monty, the stand should be available. We reloaded the medium and the small. I can check on them again when I get off, but I know he just loaded more. I think the end of last week, we ordered more medium stands. Tanya says, Tab, so smart. I never would have thought of it. Girl, it's because I was in a pinch. I needed to I had made something and I wanted to take the picture of it for you guys on the wall, and I didn't have any of the little hangy tabs. And I was like, my kid drinks soda like there's no tomorrow. So I was like, I bet I could use a soda tab. And I just worked it off, and then I used it, put it up there to hang it on the wall and take the picture. So I was like, nobody's going to see it if you're using it for yourself. And I sure as heck won't tell. So in a pinch, soda tab for the win. But again, these frames are available today. So, what I was going to say is if we have set it to be able to back order. So if we were sold out, I know as this morning, we only had 5 of one and 6 of the other left. Like, I was shocked. The members like snagged them up. And then those of you who got the email this morning, and apologies, some of the links in the email went to a collection and I didn't add them to the collection in time before the email went out. All of that is fixed. So if you were like, I couldn't find them, or the link didn't work in the email, all of that is fixed now. But we've allowed you to back order. So you can go ahead and snag it. And my husband's getting more wood later today, and we'll start cutting more tomorrow for the back orders. But it is a limited edition holiday, so we're not going to keep carrying them forever because we have to have more, you know, we have to have room for more stuff, and the girls are packing other things. But you can, I did move it to back order this morning because they had gone so quickly. But that is the pop and swap frames. So fun. Again, you could use the bow. So like if you did, this is our removable bow, but if you wanted to see it like with a bow on it, I just put that up there. This one has the magnet on it. Again, you could do a magnet so you could switch it out, or you could glue the bow right to it because this is Christmas. So it makes sense for this bow to be on here. Do I have my non-Christmas? Like, I don't know what I have. Oh, is that it right there? Hold on, let me see. Nope, that's a jar. I don't know where my other bow is that I had. I had one that is more neutral. I don't know where it went. I have a fall one that is more neutral that I can switch out, but that is adorable as it is. I like how it brings in, I had made the bow to match this napkin. This is a napkin from this month's Gather Together. Or actually, it's not a napkin. This is a printable from this month's Gather Together. So if you love this design, it's available in the Printables Club. You can join that at any time. You get the designs immediately. But I picked the colors to go with this particular design. But so cute with the bow. If you want to add a little bit of zhoosh, that's what it would look like. Same thing. Here, let's pop this. Like, I keep losing my baby Jesus. This one would be better with the other bow that I cannot. What did I do with that bow? Like, usually I put it right here. It has a magnet on it. But if you were doing another, I would do, if it was me, a more neutral type bow. Here's where you can kind of see the size difference in the two frames. That the Anna the Prophetess is a little bit bigger frame. Inside still the same. It's just the outside is a little bit thicker. But this one would look super cute with a bow as well because you're not covering up the main star there. And you can add, just adds a little bit something extra to it. Monty says she can't wait. She can't wait for her order to arrive. I know. And we are just still catching up from the weekend orders. So bear with us a little bit. Morgan's coming in tonight, and I'm gonna have her jump in the queue a little bit because I think we have we still are over 200 orders. It was really busy this weekend, and so I'm gonna have her jump in and help a little bit so we can get them caught up. We say 3 to 5 days processing for shipping because of the holiday. I really like to stay in that 3-day window, but whenever you have, like we had Columbus Day this past, what was that, Monday? Was that yesterday? Yeah. So the post office didn't pick up. So we have a whole bunch of orders that we processed yesterday that are still showing like not going anywhere because they didn't pick up. So yeah, all that to say, we'll get through them. We appreciate your patience. But that's all I wanted to share today. So again, I forgot to change the banner, but Workshop Week is open. This bundle is still available. People are snagging it. This is a pre-order, and it is all printable projects. There's over 20 printable projects. I shared last week the tags that are part of our submission to the bundle. But the email went out for Workshop Week. So you want to get into Workshop Week. We're doing ornaments. We're doing layered ornaments. Let me show you those. I think I have them right here. I say that and then, no, those are, oh, yeah. All right, let me just show you Workshop Week. So this is the Workshop Week kit that we're going to be doing during Workshop Week. It's optional. You're going to get the printables no matter what. I don't think I have the printables in here. You're going to get the printables free. You don't have to buy anything if you don't want to, but this is the kit that I will be working on. So it's 4 layered ornaments. This is different than the single that we released a few, I think a month ago. So you have the scallop with the 2025 medallions. I think it was Katie that was asking if we were going to have anything that has like this year in it. So this one comes with I know because the light's kind of reflecting, comes with 5 2025 medallions. So notice there's only 4 ornaments. So even if you used it on all 4, you're still going to have extra. So we have the bell topper, the bow, and then the regular one, and then the scallop. And so this set here makes 7 ornaments because you have the 4 layered ones, and then you have 3 of the insides that have the hole as well. So Workshop Week kit is ordered as well as the frames. I love it. Pam's not messing around. So they don't come with any embellishments, but we do offer a deluxe Workshop Week kit, which is our ornament maker kit that has all the embellishments, the string, and 10 more ornaments, as well as the 3 sheets of the Sacred Season rub-on transfers. So if you're brand new and you don't have the original ornament kit and you want everything, you can do that kit, and it'll have all the embellishments that I've used on some of these. So it also comes with the 3/4 sheet nativity designs. It comes with the printable, and it comes with Silent Night napkin, which I do not have in here because I used it, but I'll show you the examples that I made. So these are what we'll be making during Ornament Week, or during Workshop Week. We'll be doing these together. So this is the mixed media project. So this outside is a printable, underneath is a printable, and then this is a transfer over it. So it's a three layer design. So that's the one we're going to be doing for that. This one is all printables. So this is a printable, this is a printable, and the bell design is the printable. So these are all pieces on your free printable. And then I did the medallion on that one. This one is for the day that we do decoupage only. So this is the Silent Night napkin. So I took different elements from the Silent Night napkin on this bow and did the antique wax. And then this one was the rub-on transfer day, where we just teach rub-on transfers. We're going to be doing the Elmer's glue crackle technique, and these are the transfers. And so there's that one. And then because you can use the insides as well, I have this one I made again with other parts of the same napkin. These are the embellishments from the ornament maker kit. Oh, my raffia is getting caught in my bell. This one is printable. So again, this design is on your printable sheet. So I use the inside of that one. And, oh, I'm just kidding. Both of these are printable. And this one is printable as well. So this is one of the designs on your napkin. So these are the ones that we'll be making for Workshop Week. If you're brand new to Workshop Week, basically Workshop Week is held just the same exact method that we do for the memberships. So if you've been wondering what happens in the membership club, or what do the members do, or what do the members get, or how do the crafting nights go when you're a member, it's kind of like you're behind the scenes. So we go live 4 days. We're only doing 4 days this time. So starts on the 27th. It'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll wrap up the Thursday before Halloween and we'll just focus on a technique each day. So super great for newbies. If you've never done decoupage, or if you're not sure how to do decoupage with different like printables versus napkins versus whatever, we're going to teach a technique each night. So we start with the printables, and then I think we go into the rub-on transfers for day 2. Then day 3, we go through decoupage napkin. And then day 4, we put it all together on how you would use all of those things together. So that's how the workshop week goes. And then each night we will do the crafting method. So I will take you through the crafting method that we use in the membership is how you worship through crafting. We'll open in prayer. We close in prayer. We'll do a scripture. And then we also take prayer requests. And so that closing prayer, we're kind of praying over everybody. Share stories, connect, make friends, all crafting. So that is workshop week. It's 100% completely free. The kits are optional if you want to craft along with. But we do provide them so that those that want to learn all the things and get the hands-on, they have those available. So you simply go to the link to sign up. I can put it in here, but we have posts on our page. There's emails that are going out, and the email will give you the printable, and then it will direct you to go ahead and request access to the group. If you are new, as I mentioned in the beginning, there's people in the group already from last workshop week, but we will let all the new people in on Monday the 20th. So 1 week before workshop week kicks off, we will let everyone in. I'll be popping in there live, which reminds me I need to pop in there today. And getting everyone excited. Your supply list will come in your email. Your supply list is also in the group. The replays are available for 30 days. So if you're not able to craft along with us, you can catch the replays in there. We had a lot of people doing that. And then the kits will be available through workshop week. And at that point, this kit with the transfers and the napkins and the ornaments will no longer be available. However, if you're like, I don't care about workshop week, I just want those ornaments, they're available on the website as well, just to purchase the 4-pack without workshop week as well. The workshop week is a better value because you get the transfer and the napkin, and the deluxe workshop week kit is a really good value if you don't have any of the ornaments. Like if you haven't already bought the ornament maker kit, this is a great time to grab it because it's a better deal than if you were just to buy the ornament kit by itself and buy these by itself. You're going to get, it's like the best bundle. So if you're brand new and don't have any ornaments, I would recommend the deluxe kit. We also have a tool bundle available. So if you don't have the transfer, if you don't have the antique applicator tool I showed earlier today, and if you don't have the precision transfer tool, and you don't have any Mod Podge, it has like an array of brushes and those tools to get you started. It also has I think it's a smaller size than this. It's more like this size of the glue too. So it would be just enough for you to do your ornaments. So then that's one less thing you have to buy. So we have that available in the little tool bundle as well. It's there in the collection. And then also when you check out, I think it'll ask you like, hey, are you new? Do you need more stuff? So we've tried to set it up to make it as easy as possible. But that's workshop week. I can't wait to dig into these. They're going to be super fun. These are available now too. You can be like Pam. She grabbed her workshop week and her frames, paid shipping, or possibly got free shipping. And then you have everything and you're all ready to go. Okay, so that is it for today. Again, I will be live next week. I always forget what I'm doing. I don't think we're unboxing yet. We might be teasing workshop week. I might be playing with the workshop week stuff. I'll have to look. I can't remember. But I go live every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Pacific time. We do a new hands-on craft project, try and share new techniques, do new things, so you guys can all learn and share different ways to use our projects, because it's not good if you're just piling up the crafty stuff. We want to be using it. Pam got free shipping. I had a thought. I was like, well, she got a couple frames and her workshop week kit. Yeah, there you go. So get it all together, free shipping, even better. Absolutely love it. So you're welcome, Tanya. But that's it for today. Members, just a reminder, it is the third Thursday, so we'll be doing member bonus craft night. We'll show you guys what we're doing, even if you're if you're not a member, we're doing our cute little spoons. We sold out of these so quick, I had to reorder to cover all of the orders. You guys snagged these up multiple times. So we're going to be doing these little spoons. So we had the little bonus craft night kits that the members were able to buy if they wanted them. We got this little, I just love the little rusty bells. We're having little rusty stars for next month in the kit, and I couldn't find the rusty jingle bells this year, but I don't know. The rusty stuff is my favorite. So we're going to be doing these little spoons. This is painted, and then we've got the tiny little small transfers. These transfers are from the Ornament Maker rub-on transfers when you get all the little embellishments. So they fit on here really nice. So we're going to be doing these. I actually saw one where someone made theirs into like a little snowman, and I might try that. So I've got a couple pulled aside. So that's what we're going to be doing this Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific time in the membership group. So you'll get the email for that. I am not texting anymore due to some law changes in different states. So unfortunately, we can't do the texting, but I can send out the little broadcasting through Facebook. So we'll be doing that. So that's members this Thursday. I'll be live, and then we'll be doing our membership kit next Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So if you are looking at the membership or wondering what is the membership, members get a full kit each month. So these are the two versions that I put together. Or here's that little hook I was talking about. You can get these little hooks at any home store, or Dollar Tree might even have them. But these are the two versions. This is the decoupage kit club I did, and then this one's made with transfers. So this is this month's kit. So any members that are joining are getting this month's kit until the 24th is the last cutoff for this one. And then if you join after that, you'll get next month. So we'll be doing this the following Saturday. We do the last Saturday of the month. So we'll be getting together to do those. I don't know if those members in the group, did you see Gail's? She stole my idea that I was already thinking, but no. It's kind of what I had in mind, and then I went a different direction. But she put the rub-on transfers here on the top. You can also decoupage the top of these. This has been our best-selling kit. Members grabbed so many extra of these that we had to cut more. Like, we didn't have enough for our memberships. So this one has been super popular. That being said, I don't know that we're going to have extras because they keep snagging them up as fast as we can make them. But that's what we'll be doing the following Saturday. So again, just an idea of what you get with the membership. But I'm going to let you all get going on with your Tuesday. Members, I will see you Thursday. Everyone else, I'll be back here next Tuesday, same time, same place, and we will do another fun, faith-filled craft. Until then, happy crafting.